Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Lisa and I haven't made a video in a while, but I am really excited to be here with you today. I have a couple of really cool rainbow cards to share with you. I love doing ink blending with rainbow colors, and that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to be using one of the new products from the Kat Scrappiness release. This is called the Heart Panel die. I love this die. It cuts out a bunch of different hearts onto your card. And I'm also going to be using an older die set that was released called the I Love You shadow dies. I just love these dies because it cuts out the word love and then the shadow behind it, so you can do any color combination that you want. Also going to be using the embossed rectangle edge dies, embossed edge rectangle dies. It's one of those two combinations. I will definitely link it in the box below. So let's go ahead and get started with the ink blending. One of the things that I found was very helpful is I use a lot of Bristol smooth cardstock to do my ink blending on because I feel like the ink blends very well. And I buy the cardstock in a pad of 9x12 paper, but it's so big. So what I do is I usually have so much waste. I decided to cut them down ahead of time so that I can just grab one when I need it for a single card. So I cut it down to a 6x4.5 inch size, and I keep it in Ziploc baggies, a bunch of them cut, so that I can just grab it when I need it. So just a little tip that might be helpful for you guys. So today I'm going to be using candied apple, carved pumpkin, squeezed lemonade, cracked pistachio, blueprint sketch, and wilted violet. I love the rainbow. So what I did for this card is I just started to do some blending with my ink blending foams. I've got my craft mat down to protect my surface, and I'm going to do this card kind of on an angle so that all the colors are being put on a diagonal. And this doesn't have to be real specific or done in a certain way. It should be fun, it should be random, and you really shouldn't worry about where the colors are going, just as long as they're kind of mixing with each other as you go. The Bristol smooth cardstock and the ink blending foams make blending a breeze. They go on like butter. And the next one is the squeezed lemonade. It's amazing how the ink just sits on top of the cardstock. It's like they were just made for each other. And then the next color is the cracked pistachio. Turn this around. And we're not going to probably get the perfect diagonal pattern on this card like I wanted, but like I said, it should just be fun and it should be random, because once I cover it with the heart panel die, a lot of it you won't even see. But sometimes I'll go in with the color before and just do some blending, just so that it's a little more even. And then the blueprint sketch is next. Just so we don't have that harsh line, we'll just go back with the cracked pistachio. And last but not least is the wilted violet. And then you've got your classic rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. I just love how this looks. You could literally make almost any card out of this. It just lends itself to any theme. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and get my craft mat out of the way here so I don't get ink on the cards. Okay, and the next step that I did is I took the largest die from the embossed edge rectangle dies, and I laid it right over the center of the card. And if there was a spot on the card that I didn't particularly like how the blending came out on the edge, then I can just kind of position this wherever I want on the card. And I'm going to run this through my die cut machine. And I got a panel that looks like this, and I actually did two of them off camera so I could show you the difference. One of them I sprayed some shimmer spray over it when it was all finished, and one of them I actually did some stenciling with the heart panel stencil die. I actually made a stencil out of this die, and I tried doing I sprayed some water over it, but I wasn't crazy about how it came out. But I am going to do another video to show you guys the stencil that I made and another card that I made where I used the stencil and it came out much better. But over here I decided that I was still going to salvage the card, because once I cut out the heart panel die and put it over there, you really couldn't tell that the water was sprayed on there where the hearts are. So what I did is I made two cards. Like I said, one I sprayed some shimmer mist over it and one I didn't, just to get two different looks. And on one I cut out the heart panel die in black, and another I cut out the heart panel die in white, just for two different looks. And I took the I Love You shadow dies. I just took the word love and I cut out the shadow in white and the word in black for this card, and I cut out the shadow in black and the word in white for this card so that they would stand out. And I'm going to go ahead and go put them onto their card bases. This is standard A2 card bases. You can see my failed ink blending attempt on the back of this card. And these cards really come together pretty quickly once the ink blending is done. That's the most time consuming part of the card, I'd have to say. And although I don't always take my own advice, I think it's a good idea to try to make multiple cards at one time. If you're already ink blending, you might as well do two. You've got your supplies out. So that's what I did in this situation. I was already ink blending, so I went ahead and made two cards for the price of one. And I also wanted the opportunity to cut out the love in black and white and black. So we're just going to glue down the rainbow panels here on the cards. And this card is going to get the white panel. And this heart panel die is so versatile because you can lay it over a rainbow background, or you could cut the heart panel die out of your rainbow background and then lay it on a black piece of paper so the black shows through the rainbow. So either way, there's so many different options you can do. And I love my Nouveau glue because it gives me some wiggle room when I'm laying down anything that I'm gluing. And you could probably pop this up on the card. I think that would look terrific too. I'm just laying it flat today. How quick and easy is that? This card is going to get the black heart panel die. If I could get the glue flowing. And we'll just put a few on for the sake of time here today. Obviously, you'll want to glue yours down better. And then, like I said, for this one, I chose the love with the white background, so it stood out against the black heart panel die. A little bit of glue. And there you go. And because I can't ever seem to resist a little bit of bling, I'm going to take the clear jewels from Kat Scrappiness, and I'm going to lay a few jewels on the card because I think it would really stand out with the rainbow background. You guys have trouble with sequin placement? I feel like I never know where to put them. I know there's the rule of 3, but then when I put down 3, I don't feel like it's enough, and then I wind up putting down too many. So if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to leave that in the comments below. And then, of course, they never want to turn over. All right, let's put one more tiny one up here. And let's move this one here. Yep, let's go with that. Actually, kind of like how that placement came out. Sometimes it's just a happy accident. And there you go. And there are the two cards. Basically the same idea for both. You've got your rainbow background and that heart panel die, which I love how the rainbow peeks through the heart panel die. So that's a really cool look. And of course you could bling this one up too, but it does have the sparkly shimmer on the back. So I feel like it has its own shimmer. So thank you so much for joining me today. I will have another video up on my channel that I want to share with you, something super cool that I did that I mentioned before. I took the heart panel die and I actually made a stencil out of it. I got some plain stencil material, stencil sheets, and I went ahead and die cut the heart panel die out of it, and it makes its own separate piece because the heart panel die cuts an edge all around. And then I used the heart panel die to make another card. And if you are interested in seeing how I did this and the card that I made with it, then definitely you're going to want to watch my other video. I will put a link in the description down below. But in any event, thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed these cards. I feel like it's a very impressive look for just a little bit of work. Fun work. Definitely fun work. All right, you guys, happy early Valentine's Day, and check back with me soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.